And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
And he fires one incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's caught outright by Graham. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So on 4th down, here's Jake Shum to punt it away. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Jake Shum on to punt it away. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. Careless there. That's going to be a penalty because they were in contact with a return man.
It's not just the punt returner that has to locate the football. The gunners going downfield have to see that as well to make sure they don't contact him.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day, get the blocker away, and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that brings up 4th down.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
And we were scoreless up until this point in the 2nd quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? Or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
So Dallas Clark with the catch there, and he stands number 4 all-time in Colts history in receptions.
And that goes all the way back to 1953 in Baltimore. Number 4?
Yep.
2 of the guys ahead of him are Hall of Famers. That's how impressive that list is that Dallas Clark is on.
They'll get 23 yards there. And the Cowboys are going to get a 1st down. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Benjamin's got it. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. So an entertaining first half, and now we have hit the 2-minute warning. They'll go to the air here, and they'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Herman Moore from 6 yards away, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people are wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done. One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw now. Looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, with a pick. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Caught left side. It's Beckham. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Second down following the incompletion. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. And now they're in the hurry-up. Out of the gun now on third down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. That'll be incomplete as the clock